up, my people? JaxB.TheRipper here. We're going to be talking about American Satan today. It's a movie I just watched last night and today as I was like, getting ready. And I wanted to talk about it. It's a good film. It's a decent film. Is it like Oscar winning? No. Anyways, the way I found out about this film was through AMP React. So Pedro was basically interviewing Andy Biersack, and I didn't know that he was in a film called American Satan. And I didn't think anything of it. And when I was at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, if you saw that video yesterday, I was in line in the bathroom waiting for a long time. And then I turn around and I see at the wall, and it's the poster to American Satan. I was like, oh, okay. So when I get home, I look at the trailer. The trailer is a little, I don't want to say it's a little deceiving, but we'll get to that. As far as what I noticed, I was like, Andy's actually a good actor. I am coming within this review from like a neutral perspective because I know a lot of people are very biased when it comes to Andy, and I don't mean like biased like they love him or anything like that. I mean like they truly hate him. So I'm telling you now, like I am in the middle between this band. I do like Black Veil Brides. I can't name every album though, but I like a few of their songs. I do think Andy's cute, unfortunately. We'll get into that later. So I'm like in the middle with them, I don't hate them, but I like the band. I really do like the band. It is a band I would probably see live one day, but not right now. So I'm not coming in with with the perspective as I hate him, because I know the one video I did see, you could just tell the guy hated on him so badly. I was like, no, don't get me wrong, the movie wasn't perfect and I understood some dumb shit too, but I'm gonna try to keep like, oh, well, the ADR was bad here. I'm gonna try to keep that out, okay? So anyways, what is this movie about? Okay, well, first let's talk about the casting. Denise Richards, Drake Bell, Goldberg, Larry King, Bill Duke, Patrick Muldoon from Days of Our Lives, Mark Boone Jr. from Sons of Anarchy. So basically Mark's character, which is Elias, like they have to get his attention. It's not like they're working throughout the whole video to get his attention, but if you get this guy's attention, that's it. You're going to get that contract. And I loved his character. He's so funny, he's so sarcastic, but done such in a serious way. I fucking loved him so much in this movie. So Andy's mom is Denise Richards. That kind of took me back a little bit. The thing is, like, I love Denise Richards, and I think the only thing is what bugged me about her being in this movie, you kind of tell she was a little out of place. She looked uncomfortable. I don't know, maybe because she had to play like, the worried mother of her boy going to California, dropping out of college, for this dream or whatever. And like, so I don't know, maybe that's what she was just really trying to do. But at the same time, it's kind of sad to say, but because she's on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, all I could see is that dramatic rich bitch side. That's it. And that's the problem when you're on these like popular reality shows, because when you try to get other gigs, they either don't want to cast you because you're too much of that character, or they think you are problematic because of it, or it just overshadows their whole career. And I'm just like, girl, I can't even, my mind is blank now from the threesome fucking movie you made with Matt Dillon. That's like that. I can't even remember that shit no more. It like fucking blocked out because of the trauma of Beverly Hills. So you see Andy Skyping, and you see the guy play this riff, which is clearly almost the Megadeth's riff from back in the day. Also, in case you don't like Andy's vocals, guess what? You're not gonna hear it in here. You know why? Because the production couldn't afford his vocals from the record label he was under. You go Google it. That's where I found it. A talented artist called Remington Lee. I do love his voice. It's almost like the whole album, I want to say, when I was listening to it, it was like a little bit of like 90s, like mid 90s to late 90s Megadeth with like Velvet Revolver. And yeah, it kind of gave me that vibe a little bit. There's a little bit more in there, but it's like, yeah, that's the first two that came to mind. So I'm just gonna leave it there and you guys can put in your own perspective. So, but his voice is really good. So if you don't want to listen to Andy's voice on the soundtrack, you're not going to. The cover that they did to Save a Prayer is so good. I fucking love Duran Duran. Come at me. But I thought that was a masterpiece right there. So just saying. The band is half English, half American. Andy's over here. Yes, I'm gonna call him Andy. I'm not gonna call him by that stupid Johnny name. I hate that fucking name, first of all. Second, it's such a cliche name. It's like every rocker has that fucking name. I'm not gonna call him that, okay? He's Andy, okay? Fuck it. He's Andy. A guy named Leo, and Leo finds a manager, and he also finds a drummer who was not excited. We'll get into that. But apparently they were pen pals through Skype, and they were writing music and all that. And then we also have Vic. And then Lily is going to come in. She's like the California native, I think. Why is it always the bass player a girl? But anyways, they're making plans to meet up in Hollywood, California, so, so they could become rock stars. And what I like the twist this had was they kind of, at least from my perspective of watching it twice already, it seems like they were ready to be like at rock bottom, except for Lily. Lily already had her apartment because she has a job as like a fucking sex worker, not the typical. It was almost like dominatrix. What is it called? Like those kinky places where it's like they're in control, not you. What do they call? It's like a brothel almost, and only the elite go there. So she's already taken care of, but the guys, when they arrive, they literally stay in a van. I'm not even kidding you, but they're like excited. It was so cute. I was like, oh my God, their dreams are coming true. But the trailer, this is what I know, is the trailer almost had it like, oh, it wasn't what they were expecting it to be. Are they ever going to get that deal? No, like as soon as you watch the movie, it's like, no, it's like, it doesn't even show that. It shows they look excited. Maybe the only one that wasn't excited was the drummer, because they had to lie to the drummer to get him to fucking on the Sunset Strip, because the drummer wasn't going to go anywhere unless he was promised a fucking North American tour, which they lied about. But they look excited for this. Like literally like the first half of the film is like they're excited about that. Fucking Andy's texting his girlfriend nonstop because he's obsessed with her. I really felt like that whole part didn't need to be part of the movie, but whatever, it's there. It was just a cliche shit. Like he leaves his girlfriend, tells her like I would never go out there if I didn't know we were gonna have a life together out there. And I was like, whatever, girl, just fucking dump him, get you a sugar daddy so you could pay off those fucking loans of UCLA once you get transferred over there and once you find out he's cheating on you. I think I jumped ahead a little bit. And yes, they're struggling or whatever, they're over here playing gigs and they're not really getting paid for it. If they are getting paid for it, they have all these bills to pay. And, as well as like, the fucking venue they're playing at or whatever, right? So it's like really they're making nothing. So you're seeing the whole struggle concept of the whole like being a rock band and trying to survive here out in LA. So I'm like, okay. You keep seeing Malcolm McDowell, who eventually you find out his name is Capricorn. We'll get into that. He starts off first as a beggar person or some kind of Bible thumper or whatever. And then finally he shows up in like this fancy car or whatever, right? He shows up in this fancy car. And the reason why he shows up at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, which is why I saw the fucking poster at the Rainbow Bar and Grill, a lot of scenes take place there. That's why. So he shows up or whatever, and the reason being is because like the drummer was like getting ready to leave the band. He was tired of it. See Drake Bell's character kind of being an instigator. He's actually like a little rapey fuck. He raped the bass player, and he has a powerful daddy. Let's just say that, powerful lawyer daddy. And Andy wants to beat the shit out of him because what he did was basically the one show they had at the Whiskey or whatever, and they sold out or whatever, and they were going to do performance. Drake Bell, I'm just going to keep calling him Drake Bell, even though his character's name is Damien, but I was like, whatever, Drake Bell, he sends like, somehow, I'll admit this part was stupid, somehow sends a text message to everyone who was at that show, and they leave because they heard Metallica was playing down the street, and it was a surprise show, which, who would actually fucking believe that? If Metallica are fucking divas. They're fucking divas. Like, they would never get out of bed for like a certain price. Come on. They're like that Madonna money now. Like, what? So Andy gets mad, the band gets mad or whatever, and they don't beat him up because, he's, Drake Bell's daddy's rich or whatever, right? So, yeah. So back to Capricorn over here. Yeah. This is beyond annoying, but I recorded the whole thing on my camera phone, right? Because I just didn't feel like charging my camera, and I think there's something wrong with my SD card. So yeah, I just didn't feel like dealing with it, right? So for some reason, I filmed it in twos, right? I was still on the first clip. I want to say it was like the last 6 minutes of editing or something, the last 6 minutes before I was going to edit it up. For some reason, there was no volume, and I was just like in a pause mode. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to put in stock footage, I guess, and like do a voiceover. And I hate doing voiceovers. I really do. They're not my favorite. Capricorn is basically the devil, and basically he's over here toying with these guys, letting them know if they want to be successful that they should make a pact with them or a ritual they have to do, right? And he's over here naming lists too, and who has done it, like Jay-Z and so on. Basically, is very Illuminati based, so is what they're getting at. And everyone's like, okay, I'm down, let's do it. What do we have to do? Of course, they have to sacrifice someone, and they sacrifice Drake Bell. And really, I kind of like this concept because it's like it's best to like at least sacrifice the rapey motherfucker than some innocent, like they always do the virgin or, like someone innocent or a child. I'm all down for, sacrificing a rapey motherfucker. Also, I am not surprised they call him Capricorn. I guess somebody on here follows astrology or something or tarot readings because in the tarot card, the devil, it represents the Capricorn zodiac sign. Just to let you know. But there is some resistance to the contract. They don't want to sacrifice anybody. But, all of a sudden, Andy's mom, Denise Richards, is sick. She has breast cancer. It's going to be expensive. And, here comes in Capricorn talking into his ear. He sees Drake Bell. All of a sudden, it's a good idea for the sacrifice. Honestly, the way Drake Bell dies here is like fucking hilarious as fuck. And this scene right here, how he's just like cussing him out and like taking jabs at Andy's mom is like fucking hilarious. But yeah, watch it. There's a twist. There's a twist. I can't tell you, but there's a twist like how Drake Bell dies. It was funny as fuck. Oh my god, no, I couldn't keep doing that shit. I just grabbed my fucking camera. I got a new SD card and threw out the old one. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna hold you guys like this, okay? So they do the ritual, they kill the guy, right? So going back to Mark's character, Elias. Why do I feel like saying Elias? It's Elias. So he all of a sudden contacts the band the next day, right? He contacts them, and it's like, mind you, Lily was never part of the ritual though. Keep that in mind. Move back on my fucking vanity desk. I could give a fuck if you see my closet or anything. Anyways. So they get a phone call from Elias, and then they all go and sign. Yes, Lily goes and signs the contract too. I like how they gloss over. They're like, shouldn't we get like a lawyer? And then they just like don't. It was never brought up again in the movie because usually something like that gets brought back up later on. Like, oh, this is why we should have got a lawyer. So to my surprise, it just glossed on over and nobody ever thought about it ever again. But they get given a $200,000 deal. Thing is, what they don't really understand when they made the deal with Capricorn is the reason why rock stars are so famous is because of the amount of controversy they're in. And they start talking about it when they do the deal with Elias. Now, Elias is not part of the ritual thing or anything like that. He's not. If anything, you kind of see his character a little bit like he's trying to guide these guys. Like he knows the ropes. He knows how bad it is. It's like you really do see like he's trying to guide these kids, right? They go ahead and start opening up for this big band or whatever. And then the first controversy was underage sex. Now, mind you, in the movie, they don't know. But I think we all know 99% of the bands know. Or they pretend they don't know. And then as they're continuing to travel with being like the opening band, you all of a sudden see Denise Richards is cured. She went into surgery and everything. She's fine. She just has to do her yearly checkups. And it's like, I think it kind of triggers me just because I saw my mom throw up after she had surgery from breast cancer when they removed everything, right? So it's like kind of seeing her, being bald and throwing up as she came home from the surgery. I'm like, yeah, Denise, you look so fucking intact. Like, mind you, I don't know how far after the surgery was, but I just thought it was like kind of weird. Like, both your tits are still there, girl. I could see them. Like, did they not at least put a sports bra on you? Like, do you not know how to play the titty game? Because trust me, when you put on a sports bra, it's all of a sudden like, where her boobs go, But as soon as you put an underwire bra, you're like, holy shit, they look fake. So I do it all the time. So I don't know, maybe I'm just triggered by like trauma that I had, but yeah, so I just thought, I was like, God, could they at least have put a sweater on her, something. And I like also how the girlfriend tells Andy, her name is Gretchen, how Gretchen tells Andy, she was like, look, if you need some time, like basically saying like, you know, we could take a break because I get it, you have a hectic schedule. He's like, no, don't be crazy. Like, she kind of like was about to let you go off the hook for a minute, dude. Why didn't you fucking take it? You see Bill Goldberg have a wrestling match. I get the feeling they wanted an excuse to have a fight scene. So they're like, yeah, let's get Bill Goldberg in this. There's a scene where they're in a redneck bar and they're very Bible thumping and they're like basically giving the band a hard time. And the fight turns out and Lily ends up killing one of the guys with her fucking fashionable boots. You know, that's the other controversy. That's the other controversy that was needed. And this whole interview with Mark and that teleprompt news anchor guy was like the funniest shit ever. I fucking enjoyed every minute of this.
Los Angeles-based heavy metal band Relentless
that's The Relentless, the name of the band.
How do you feel about the release of The American Satan?
It's American Satan, not The American Satan.
To a jury to decide if it was self-defense or not.
Yes, that is the process. You really know your stuff, don't you?
Like, I think the main reason I rewatched this movie again was because of Mark and Denise Richards. I can't fucking deny. And Drake Bell being a little bitch. The way Drake Bell, I should have said that. The way Drake Bell died was funny though. It was funny. You guys need to watch it. Seriously. Just for Drake. To Drake. Keep in mind, I was never a Drake and Josh fan. I was already like in my late teens already, so I didn't really give a fuck about it or anything. So this was actually my first time actually seeing him as an actor. All of a sudden, it turns out that, you know, it's kind of sort of like a montage or whatever. You see that all these like you see all these underdogs and nerds, and they're just standing up and beating up their bullies and killing their bullies. And I love it, and they blame it on the band because, again, the band in rock and roll music always gets blamed, right? They always blame them for the violence, right? And they don't really look at the underlying statements or the read between the lines is what I'm trying to say. I'm drinking right now, so I don't think I'm making sense. I don't like Marilyn Manson, but I think we all understood the Columbine situation. If you haven't seen those interviews, watch that. And then also the Ozzy Osbourne one, where a fan like was playing devil music or, you know, devil music. I can't remember what happened to him. I don't know if he committed suicide or he killed somebody else. I don't know. But they're trying to link it, you know, to how bands get a lot of heat when someone dies just because they were listening to their music. So that's basically what the whole movie is about. And I loved it. I admit that was, unless there's something else similar, I don't know. Because the only other metal movies I've seen is like Some Kind of Monster, the Nightwish one, Spinal Tap. That was a great one. I fucking loved it. Highly recommend it. Okay, Some Kind of Monster was more of a documentary, I know. And then you see the band, and then you see Andy eventually get into drugs because of Lily. And then Lily made sure that his girlfriend heard them fucking. She basically seduced, raped him. Here's the thing though. Yes, I do think Andy is cute. But that blowjob scene made me gag, and I threw up a little bit in my mouth, and I was like, oh God, no. And you know what it is? Okay, like, I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram video and how I hated to admit that he's cute. It's because he looks like somebody I know who I no longer like. That's why. And there was this one particular scene right here. I was like, I know who you look like. I'm not going to name names, but I know who you look like, and I know why I despise you and why I don't want to like you. And they do the whole rehab thing too. You know, Elias sends them over there to Malibu, which is funny because I did a fucking indie shoot like last year of people going to rehab in Malibu. That shit was funny. So I thought this was funny when Elias was like, hey, you're going to fucking Malibu and do fucking Kundalini. And then they also showed too, I thought this was like ironic. If you see the movie Mulholland Drive, you know why. Fucking Andy buys Denise Richards, you know, his mom, a home in Mulholland Drive. I mean, all you gotta do, you don't even have to watch the movie. You could just read a little bit what's about and you'll know right away, oh, that's why. So you know, with the whole ritual shit is what I'm trying to say. And then of course he has this last tour to do. You know, the band has this last tour to do. Well, it's not their last, but it ends up being almost their last. And you know, he has to like shoot someone because that's what Mr. Capricorn wants him to do. And anyways, I don't know how to wrap this movie up because I don't want to give away the ending. Yeah, I don't know how to, I did not plan this far ahead. I planned like up to there. And I didn't take any notes. Anyways, Larry King makes a special entrance towards the end of the film. So yeah, that's it. I suck at these. Yeah, I know. I don't really like doing these unless I'm with like Fat Samurai Guy, because at least we like guided through and everything. So anyways, that's it. I don't want to give away the ending. There's a twist. Okay, so I don't like my ending. I don't like the ending, so I'm recording this again. I mean, I'm trying not to spoil it or anything like that. I mean, there's somewhat of a twist with Lily, but not really. I also don't understand like why like he has such an obsession with his girlfriend Andy. I mean, like why like towards the end when he's in jail towards the end, you know, for some reason when they're on Larry King, like Lily and Leo, they're like, there's only one person who could make him change his mind. Again, I'm not going to get into that, but it's just like, I think what it was, because it was trying to prepare for like a sequel. But if I'm not sure, but I think Paradise Lost, which is like a series that came out in 2021, I think it continues from then off, because a lot of the characters are similar. And as Lily, and I forgot who else that they took out. It's on Amazon Prime, and I don't have Amazon Prime. Maybe I should get Amazon Prime, just because when I bought groceries today, I noticed like off Amazon it was super cheap, but I could probably get free shipping and all those fees waived off if I do Amazon Prime. Anyways, I'll keep you in the loop on that. Not really. But anyways, I give this movie a B+. It was good. It was decent. I liked the whole concept of it and everything. It wasn't bad. The acting was decent to me. Is there moments? Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Am I used to certain characters being in a certain way, like Denise Richards? Absolutely. But when you get past that, you'll be fine. Other than that, yeah, I love the movie. I do like it. I really do. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I love the movie. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. I don't have Jack Daniels across the room, and I don't feel like drinking anymore. So here's Princess Peach. Salud, and take care of yourselves, and bye.